Are you craving a trip on Space Mountain? Well, we've got the next best thing. Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff DePaoli.
And I'm Patrick Dougal.
And Patrick.
Yes.
Guess what we have today?
More news?
So much to talk about, but before we start, I'm wearing a magic band.
Oh, that's cool. Why are you wearing a magic band?
No reason whatsoever.
Awesome.
I'm just wearing a magic band because
I don't have a red one.
Really?
I have a gray one, an orange one, a green one, and a blue one.
I think I got you a green and a blue, right? When I was there?
No, the blue one.
Green, I definitely got you.
Green and orange, I got from you.
Okay.
Gray, I got from gray was like the
AP one, right?
No, it was just like before they got into colors and with the tip of just gray. If you got like added last minute into like a hotel thing. And then the blue one I got for my annual pass.
Nice. Yeah, they're now just fashion accessories. So, got my magic band. Anywho, before we move forward, I just want to mention to our viewers and listeners that iTunes is having an issue. So,
oh boy.
Yeah, I know. So, we have uploaded our season premiere last week, as you probably know, or may not know, because when we uploaded it, iTunes and the podcast app on the iPhone is supposed to automatically update you. It's not the most reliable thing. I had a fun little customer service call for an hour on Apple, and in any case, to make sure you get our episodes, the most reliable thing seems to be YouTube, as well as on our website. If you go to the home page and I think it's the contact page, you can sign up for the weekly email reminding you. So I highly suggest that if you want to make sure you get it.
Yeah, and once again, if you are watching on YouTube, you can see us.
Yeah, you can see us now. So extra bonus, I guess. So anyway, just wanted to mention that before we move forward. But shall we jump into our Frozen of the Week?
Always.
Okay, well, I think it deserves a jingle this week.
Oh.
And for the first time in forever, I think that we will sing it together.
Oh.
Shall we try?
Let us try.
Okay.
Let us try.
In 3, 2, it's Frozen News of the Week. Ding, ding, ding.
That's the ding is like the snowflake.
Yeah. Ding. Anywho, so it's time for Frozen News of the Week. I did check our records because last week we had a little disagreement as to what our guess for number of weeks was. I was indeed 52 weeks. You were indeed 37 and a half weeks.
37 and a half. Cool.
Yeah. So, and we're currently at week 25.
Got it.
So I don't know if is this going to be like where Price is Right, where if we go past 37, like,
I don't know.
Over under thing. I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't think it really matters to be honest. But definitely some big Frozen news of the week. Epcot, first of all. We know about the whole ride coming.
Yes.
But it's kind of been announced that there's going to be more than a ride.
Yeah, I don't think it's been officially announced yet, but
No.
there's been some blueprints that have leaked about expanding behind the Norway Pavilion for more things. And besides the ride, which is taking over Maelstrom, there could be a show and a newly built meet and greet area and a whole Frozen section.
Now, it's funny because they're talking about like how this might be the first new country in Epcot for a long time. The country they're speaking of is Arendelle, which isn't a real country, so it's a little...
It's part of Norway. So
I
think it's the Norway Pavilion. It's like a sub-pavilion.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. But yes, it's much bigger than apparently we initially thought. And I've actually heard rumors, tell me if you've heard them, that the entire like canal boat system in Maelstrom is gone, and like Frozen might be Omnimover.
I hope so. Well, I think when we talked about this,
the magnetic
wanted to
thing.
see the GPS kind of
trackless ride system. Yeah, that would be nice. But
Omnimover is kind of better in terms of capacity. Like, can you imagine the line for this ride? I think like an Omnimover, hopefully one that keeps moving.
Yeah.
Okay. Stop.
Note to all the Imagineers watching / listening, because I know there's so many of them doing that.
Sure.
There needs to be a handicapped separate loading system, just like Space Mountain at Disneyland, where it then comes into the track and out of the track for loading. Needs to happen. Should have happened with Little Mermaid Omnimover. Don't know why it didn't. if Frozen is an Omnimover, it better have a system like that. Because, I mean, you literally pretty much cannot ride Little Mermaid or Haunted Mansion without being stopped.
Going super slow or stopping. Yeah.
And of course, how often do you get stopped in front of like a black wall or something?
All the time.
So it's like, man, why couldn't it have been at the ballroom?
And even if it's like a 1-second stop, you'll still get like the spiel. It's like, oh,
yeah. And then when
ghosts have interrupted your tour. Oh, we're back moving again.
You sound so much like Paul Frees. It's scary.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
When they're updating the Haunted Mansion, they need to call you.
Exactly. That's what I've been saying.
Awesome. But so yes, Epcot's getting a pretty big Frozen expansion. Bigger than we expected. So that's cool. Also, in some Frozen of the week, I find this really funny. You've heard about like the Anna and Elsa teaching children computer coding?
No, I have not.
Oh my goodness. So there's a website, code.org, and they have created games to teach children how to do coding for computers and stuff. I just think that's hilarious.
I mean, I think if you put Frozen into anything, you could probably teach someone something.
Yeah, seriously. And
like multiply these snowflakes.
Well, they have to build snowflakes with like mathematics and stuff and coding, and so.
Well, Frozen is not even like, this is getting out there, but there have been some, I don't know if you heard about these, like some online games that have been based off Frozen. You can...
Like official games?
No, not official games.
So like rip-offs?
Yes. Okay. You can go online and deliver Anna's baby.
What?
Or Elsa's baby, or perform brain surgery on Elsa, and you gotta like get the snowflakes out of her mind. Like, and these games are like pretty popular games.
Who created them?
It's just online flash games.
Do they call them Anna and Elsa?
Yeah. It's like,
oh my god.
And it's not even like trying to not copyright.
I kind of want to play that game, not gonna lie.
I actually did.
Which one? Did you deliver the baby?
No, the baby ones are new. The brain surgery one's the first one I did.
Wow, I've got to try that. You've got to show me that. That's crazy.
So if you guys want to look those up.
Yeah,
interesting.
I guess
interesting stuff.
Google Anna and Elsa baby delivery. Although I always thought
I would put game at the end of that. Just
baby delivery game. Yeah, I always thought that the Disney characters didn't have lady parts, but apparently they do.
I mean, it's a very for what the game entails. It's censored enough.
It's just disturbing.
It's just a game.
It's just a fun game. Okay, we'll check it out. Also, big news as well for Tokyo Disneyland. They have this whole Anna and Elsa's Frozen fantasy, and this is kind of like their first look, or not first look, but their first putting the characters in the theme parks, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, they had their kind of own. I watched the little. They have like this entrance parade, and then they stop and they do a little. Elsa sings "Let It Go"
in Japanese, which is always weird.
But I think the first day they premiered this, they actually had the voice characters from who like redo the voices into Japanese, and it was like everyone's going crazy over them. It's just such a different world that you're like, oh yeah, there's different stars for this movie somewhere else.
Yeah, it's so interesting. But it seemed like they put a lot of like stuff that already existed, like a pre-parade, and they've added it into their nighttime show, and you know, a lot of new signage and stuff. So nothing like brand spanking new, but still exciting to have it over there.
Oh yeah,
so that's pretty cool. Anyway, I think that does it for our Frozen news of the week. Anything else that you want to mention? Okay, well then let's move on. There are a couple things that kind of happened last year, but we haven't discussed yet on the show because we had like a month hiatus. And one is Into the Woods, which, as you know, I was super excited about and was on my list of like favorite things of 2014. And the other is Galavant, the TV show. So which would you like to start with?
Into the Woods.
Into the Woods, okay.
Because I've seen it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I loved it. I mean, I loved it. And as you know, huge fan of the original show, so like there was definitely a chance of, you know, not loving it so much. But overall I loved it. There's one thing that they did. They cut one song between the father and son, the baker and his father, that I just couldn't believe they cut, to be honest. It's the only problem I had with it. Otherwise I was like, I'm pretty into this.
I liked it.
Yeah. Score 1 to 5 stars. How many stars?
4.
Well, that's interesting because I'd probably give it about 4.5 as well.
4.
Okay.
Maybe my rating system's different.
Yeah, your rating system is much
3.54.
Okay, 3.54. Yeah, no, I've seen it twice. I saw it with the cast, which was crazy, and it's just such a good movie with good music. But the thing that like is shocking me is how many people keep saying to me, "Oh, I didn't know it was a musical."
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of things on Twitter that are like, "Oh, they should bring this to Broadway.
Really?
This would be good in Broadway."
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Sondheim is a Broadway legend. It's been there. 1987, it was there, and years after that as well.
So I've never seen the actual production, so this was my first time going into seeing it. I can definitely tell where like the two acts were, and I felt like I've heard this from other people too. I felt like the second act was super rushed. In terms of just, I feel like I've heard that's where they cut most of the stuff. I felt like most of the movie was Act 1, and I liked that story. And then Act 2 was good, but it felt really rushed to me.
It's interesting because I've heard from people say like they wanted it to end after Act 1, which is you're missing the entire point of Into the Woods if you don't watch Act 2.
Yeah,
like the whole point is be careful what you wish for, and things don't always work out the way you want them to. So. But some people felt like that slowed it down. At least that's what I'd heard, Act 2. I love Act 2. I actually prefer Act 2 to Act 1. I think I'm not normal in that respect. Most people are like, oh, I like the happy ending. I'm like, no, let the stuff hit the fan and kill everybody. And
okay.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
And I loved Meryl Streep, and it's so good.
Yeah, she was definitely my favorite.
No, actually... One of my faves was probably the little boy who played Jack.
Really?
I loved him.
I wasn't my favorite.
Okay,
you said you didn't like Red.
I did not like Red.
And I liked Red a lot more than the boy.
Okay, so the little boy, whose name I don't know, he was in the movie Les Mis, and he was the only part of Les Mis I did like. Like, I did not care for that movie.
Forgettable in Les Mis.
You forgot what?
I forgot about him in Les Mis.
Yeah, he was great. Little Gavroche in Les Mis. Fantastic. And so when I heard it was the same boy, I was excited. And I don't know, I loved him. I mean, in the stage production, it's never a kid, or never has been, at least on Broadway. It's always an adult playing a little boy. So it was kind of cool to see that. Same with Little Red. She was the latest Annie on Broadway. I don't know. She didn't do it for me.
I liked her a lot. Okay. I didn't like the guy.
Okay, well.
We disagree on things.
Yep, that's what makes Disney Coast to Coast so magical and interesting.
Anywho,
so yes, Into the Woods, love it. Go see it if you haven't seen it yet. I definitely think it's worth seeing.
Yeah,
it's awesome. Anyway, Galavant, we just spoke of. If you don't know what Galavant is, it is a TV show on ABC. It was supposed to be a TV show. Now they're calling it a 4-night comedy extravaganza.
Okay.
Which means to me, canceled before we even started.
Yes.
That's the interpretation I get. It actually is 8 episodes, but they're showing 2 a night.
Okay.
So it should be brilliant. It should be, because it's Alan Menken. Alan freaking Menken. Mr. Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, Aladdin, everything fabulous. Newsies. Wrote the music for it. It's a musical TV show. We saw the pilot actually back in like July.
Yeah, long time ago.
You disliked it so much that you didn't even continue to watch it on ABC.
Yes.
I, on the other hand, am suffering through it. Because if there were no end in sight, if it were truly a series that I knew wasn't ending, I wouldn't be watching.
Well, has it gotten better?
No, it really hasn't. Ricky Gervais is coming up on an episode, so like that's kind of exciting.
Okay.
They're having guest stars, like Weird Al's doing an episode. It's I don't laugh out loud at all.
Yeah.
Like at all.
And that's what it's trying to do.
It feels like it's trying so hard. And the weird thing is they've kind of been like pushing it and like re-airing it on other nights. And they had like this whole like behind the scenes making of thing on ABC before it premiered. And like listening to the people talk about it, I feel like they actually felt like they had like this really big hit on their hands. Maybe there's like Galavant fans out there. I'm extraordinarily disappointed.
All I remember is when we watched the pilot way back when, I was like, all the music sounded like Beauty and the Beast.
Which was hilarious, yes.
Like, the song he sings was, like, part of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah, the theme of Galavant as you pointed out, sounds exactly like it's a faster version of If I Can't Love Her from the Broadway musical Beauty and the Beast. And it's 100% true.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot hear that song now without thinking of Beauty and the Beast. So, major disappointment.
Yeah.
We still love you, Alan Menken. At least I do. Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we still love you.
I don't put this past you.
Hunchback of Notre Dame makes up for all of it.
Exactly.
So, so in any case, just wanted to update you on that, because even though it's kind of older news, we hadn't really talked about it.
But 2015,
Oscar nominations,
Woo.
And Disney got 9 nominations.
Crazy.
That did pretty well.
With, I know Guardians and Into the Woods are pretty much leading the pack there for Disney.
Yeah. So it looks like supporting actress Meryl Streep. It's always funny to me, like, when people beat Meryl Streep, which does happen. I mean, it happens a lot. But I'm always like, can you imagine beating Meryl Streep? I'd be like, I just beat Meryl Streep at...
When you say Meryl Streep is nominated for an Oscar, this is my shock face.
Yeah, it's like, no shock.
If you're listening, my face didn't move.
Yeah, his face didn't move. No shock whatsoever. Meryl Streep really can't do anything wrong. And it was funny at the Q&A thing with her, like, all she does is hear praise about herself.
Yeah.
And she's so, like, I felt like she's just so used to it at this point. I think she's, like, touched by it, but doesn't even faze her at the same time.
It's like, I know.
And it's so funny. I mean, I don't know. How that woman doesn't have, like, the biggest head on earth is
well, I know a lot of people were like, wait, Meryl Streep can sing too? And
she did Mamma Mia.
I was like, yeah. Did you miss Mamma Mia?
To be honest, I actually don't think she has a great voice.
She has a unique... She can sing.
She can carry tune.
She can't sing.
I feel like when she sings, like, powerfully, like with a full voice, I actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
When she sings softer stuff,
well, see, I like hearing belting songs are good, but I like more of, like, the acting singing, which I think she does. Like,
yes,
more so you add the emotion to the song rather than just belt the notes.
Yeah. I would have liked to have seen Bernadette Peters get the role in the movie, to be honest. I love Bernadette Peters. She originated the role on Broadway. I would have liked to have seen what she would do with it, but Meryl Streep was fabulous, and she looks so good in that blue dress. Oh my god, it was crazy. Speaking of, I think they were nominated for costumes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Into the Woods and Maleficent, which is kind of a fun little battle between the company. Which would you choose if
Into the Woods. Into the Woods.
Yeah, probably overall as well, because in Maleficent, it's kind of like that one costume is spectacular. Yeah. Whereas Into the Woods, kind of like as a whole, it's pretty awesome costumes. What else? Animated Big Hero 6 is nominated. A little bit of a shock with the loss at the Golden Globes. I was watching with somebody who worked on the movie, and I turned to him and I went, "Did your movie just lose?" And he's like, "Yup." I was like, "Oh my god!" Especially since I'm a huge fan of How to Train Your Dragon. Didn't care for the second one so much. And I thought it was a given. I was like, Big Hero 6 is going to take this. I was shocked.
We'll see what happens at the Oscars.
I know. That would be really bad if they didn't win at the Oscars.
Be interesting.
But I don't know. Big Hero 6 is still better than I ever expected it to be. So
yeah.
Anywho, as well as animated short, The Feast, which was before Big Hero 6, right?
Yes.
Which I love. I don't know the other nominations so well, so I don't know if it's the best, but I really, really enjoy that. Let's see, costumes I mentioned. Production design, Into the Woods. So good. So makeup and the hair, Guardians of the Galaxy, which was a little weird to me.
Yes and no. For, like, the normal characters, like Star-Lord and everything, okay. But when I think back to it, you gotta think of Drax and Gamora. All of that was makeup.
Okay.
And prosthetics.
Okay. Yeah.
So, in terms of that, I'm like, okay, yeah. Groot, the other hand, CGI.
I was going to say, it's all CGI.
Gamora
right?
and Drax were definitely prosthetics and makeup. So, yes.
Okay.
Who knows if they'll win for it,
yeah.
But I can see how that could be.
I was just a little surprised. Visual effects, another battle between Disney, Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh.
My guess, my instincts between those two would go with Captain America.
Yeah. Ooh, interesting. It'd be weird. They could both lose.
Well, I think in a lot of cases they could.
Yeah.
But in any case, we'll find out on Sunday, February 22nd, who the winner is. And but it's pretty good. Now, what was it? 9 nominations.
9.
That's pretty good. Good for them. They need it. Yeah. Golf applause. Anywho, moving on from there. Walt Disney World is getting something. Okay, so we were gloating a little bit back when we got the Big Hero 6 sneak peek.
Yes.
And Walt Disney World did not. Guess what?
They're getting a sneak peek, we're not.
They're getting Cinderella, and we're not. And I don't understand why we're not, because we still have the Big Hero 6 sneak peek here at Disneyland. And guess what? It's not such a sneak peek anymore.
What? You don't go to that every time you go to Disneyland?
Nope, I haven't been since. Although I will say, I feel like there are still crowds going to it.
I've seen people still going to it.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I think it's going to be going down. But there's nothing coming.
Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
It just says, I think Magic Eye Theater, right? Is just going under refurb for something.
Well, what I hear is it's actually going to become an attraction at some point, more than just a theater. So, I don't know, but yeah, so they're getting Cinderella at Disney Hollywood Studios, which, if you haven't heard, folks, the hat's partially down now.
It is.
That sorcerer's hat is coming down.
But besides the sneak peek, they also are getting the golden coach from the movie.
Yeah, which
you can like take pictures with and stuff.
Yeah, it's a little gaudy.
Yeah, it's very like. There it is.
Yep. Yeah, they showed it. If you saw the Disney Parks Christmas, what was it called? The Disney Parks Frozen Christmas Celebration. If you saw that, they did show it on there as part of the parade. But yeah, now you can see it at Disney Hollywood Studios, and they're getting the sneak peek, so that's a little bit of a bummer for us.
Yeah.
But I guess they need something new, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad we got the Big Hero 6 sneak peek.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited to see Cinderella, but I'm not like super excited.
I have to say, since the latest trailer, have you seen the latest trailer? I'm actually way more excited than I was before. Yeah, I think they had the they did one of those weird things with one of the classic songs again, where they changed it up and stuff. And I don't know, I actually got way more excited than I was with the teaser.
I'm excited for it because of the Frozen short.
That's what I was actually going to say. Can you imagine if instead of a Cinderella sneak peek, they're like, we're going to show you the Frozen short instead. Maybe that's what Disneyland's getting.
They would never. I think that's one of the selling points of Cinderella.
Yeah, plus it's still being worked on. But
I think it's also interesting. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's 2 different audiences, but still Disney. That Cinderella and Avengers Age of Ultron are like only a week apart from release.
Oh, interesting. But yeah, totally different audiences. I will not be seeing.
I will be seeing both.
What's the one called you said?
Avengers Age of Ultron.
Avengers Age of Ultron. I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. Patrick Dougal.
Anyway.
Anywho, so yes, good for you, Walt Disney World. We'll just miss it over here. We're getting the Frozen short. That's my prediction.
Okay.
Big Hero 6 is moving out, and we're getting the Frozen short.
Got it. Frozen fever taking over Disney.
I'm not betting any money on that.
Nope.
Also over at Walt Disney World, they're getting a new Animal Kingdom Backstage tour. I believe you've done the previous one. It was called
done one of them.
The Backstage Safari Tour is what it was called. Now they have this new one called Backstage Tales. It's going to be longer. It's 3 hours and 45 minutes. $90. And
interesting. I've done. I don't know what the tours you said the one was the Animal Safari tour.
It was called Backstage Safari Tour. Yeah.
I never took a paid one. The tour I took for Animal Kingdom was during Limited Time Magic. They actually during 1 month they actually just had first 100 people to sign up get like a tour of Expedition Everest or something crazy. So I signed up for one of my Animal Kingdom, and I got a backstage tour of the like healthcare facility they use for animals.
I think they only really had one backstage tour. I could be wrong, but I feel like they just had. So it was probably the one.
So I don't think I never went on like an official tour, and I don't think they even do one that goes back to the animal clinic. But that's
no, they do, because my mother and brother have taken one. They said they went backstage with the animals.
Yeah,
and stuff.
it's awesome. Like they took to like the backstage lion area and got to see them really up close.
And now it's longer, 3 hours and 45 minutes. So even more. I love the long tours. I think it's the Keys to the Kingdom one that's like 7 hours.
Oh yeah,
I love that tour. That was such a great tour.
And I believe that's the one that takes you through the tunnels as well.
Yeah, that's the what is it? The Utilidor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that's happening. Kind of weird news, but it's kind of fun and exciting. Disney Cruise Line saved somebody's life.
Oh yeah, it wasn't even their
a Disney,
cruise.
Yeah, somebody was overboard from a Royal Caribbean Oasis cruise, and
nobody noticed apparently on Royal Caribbean.
I was actually wondering, like, I didn't. Like, I don't know if they revealed all the details. Did the man jump? Was he pulling a Titanic and fell over? Like, what happened? He was in the middle of the ocean. It was kind of choppy water.
Yeah.
And Disney Cruise Line, I think they said a passenger or a guest noticed and told a cast member, and then they sent somebody out to rescue the man. You know what it probably was? He was probably on the Royal Caribbean cruise, saw a Disney Cruise Line and said, I would so much rather be on that ship. I'm going to jump ship and get them to rescue me.
Have you been on a Royal Caribbean Oasis?
No, I've been on the Disney cruise.
I gotcha.
Why is what about Royal Caribbean?
I love both of them, so I would take either cruise.
Are you being facetious or seriously?
I mean 100% serious.
Oh, okay. You said it as if like, oh God, Royal Caribbean cruise.
Oh no, Royal Caribbean. You guys are gonna hate me, but I think I like Royal Caribbean Cruise Line better.
Well, you've
Disney
never done a
Cruise
full
Line.
Disney cruise.
Ooh,
You've only been on a ship.
Yeah,
It's a little different. Okay, I don't know what that
That
was.
was my C-3PO impression.
Where did you go with the Royal Caribbean cruise?
I haven't been on a cruise in years.
So does that mean you don't remember?
I know I've been on a Royal Caribbean cruise like 5 years ago.
But where did you go?
Western Caribbean.
Okay,
7-day.
sounds good.
Fun times.
If you saw a Disney ship, would you jump off and try to get over there?
I would not jump off a ship, period. let's make that clear.
Why not? You're so boring.
I hate the open ocean.
Really?
Unless I'm on a cruise ship.
Okay. Weird. Anywho, so that happened. Okay, trivia time. Hit me.
Ready? Okay, so last week we talked about, we went to Disneyland. We saw a different fireworks show.
Yes, we did.
Fantasy in the Sky.
Yes, we did.
And we're talking about the different dates of it.
Yeah.
Do you know the official opening and closing year?
I think it was 1956 to 2000.
It was 1958 to 1999.
Okay.
Close.
1958 to 9. So there were no daily fireworks before 58, I believe. They may have
yeah, I don't think so.
58 to 99. Okay. And then
It's a long fireworks.
Now, but as we saw, I mean, like, they had music from It's a Small World in the show and Mary Poppins and stuff. So obviously in 1958, those songs didn't exist yet.
Yeah.
So it's a show that transformed through the years, kept the same name. But yeah, so Fantasy in the Sky, 1958 to 1999. I accept that.
There you go. You were close, though.
Yeah, it was pretty close. For you, we were talking about the Disney Cruise Line.
Uh-huh.
And there's something very, I don't know if special is the right word, but there's something, there's obviously a lot of legalities when it comes to owning a cruise ship.
Yes.
And there's something about the Disney Cruise Line that is different than all other cruise ships when it was first created. And they had to make special situations for Disney. And do you have any idea what it's related to?
I will. It's really funny because I think I 100% know what this is about.
Okay, tell me.
It's their horn.
No, it's not their horn. Their horn is unique because it goes bum 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 bum.
But they have
bum,
all different
bum,
ones.
bum. And
I think, but this is a trick question.
Okay,
Because it's true.
okay. I don't know if there's like I don't know enough about cruising where like is there special horn situations where you need to. I mean,
I feel like there would be, but anyway. Okay, so it's not the horn.
This one's related to lifeboats. Do you know what is so unique about Disney Cruise Line lifeboats?
Do they have Mickey ears?
No,
They're yellow.
They are yellow, which is different. I think other cruise lines now have it because Disney changed the law essentially. Before Disney,
Orange?
they used to always have to be orange. And so Disney went to the U.S. Coast Guard and said, hey, for our theming and our color scheme, we need the Mickey colors. So our ship needs to be red, black, white, and yellow. And orange will ruin our ship. And so they actually changed the law and allowed them to go yellow. And now I think other ships have followed suit as well. But come on, how kind of amazing is that you're like, we're Disney, we can kind of do what we want.
We need it to match our color scheme.
Seriously. Like, I feel like if any other company went to them, they'd be like, they're like, this is people's safety. Orange for a reason. And they're like, Disney? Oh yeah, Mickey's shoes are yellow. Totally. Make it yellow. Gotta make it yellow.
I'm proud I knew that it was yellow and orange, though.
Yeah, good for you. High five. Yeah.
We should go on a cruise.
Let's do it.
All
tomorrow?
Right. Yes.
Oh, you're a little busy tomorrow.
A little bit.
Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for us this week. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening and watching. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.
Has been a lot different. There was no air mattress for the stunt person to fall on. Like, there was no stunt.
wait. Oh, yeah, there's no stunt work. They just didn't get rid of the air mattress.
Yeah.
They still did the stunts, but
no.
they fell on the boat.
There's no stunt work. In fact, like
they just got rid of the stunt air mattress. They still did the stunts.
Did you enjoy that visual?
I did.
And
I just
woo, splat.